all this text and all these links you see on this page, I can promise you that the only places you really spend any time are in this gray box right here and in this data sets box on the left-hand side, because that's where everything is held. Anything linked is available through either of those venues. So what we wanted to do first was just kind of go the easiest route to get data. You know, you're on a deadline, you need something pretty quick. That's when you actually use this gray box in the middle. It says get a fact sheet for your community. So I'm actually just going to go in there and just quickly type in Hartford, and then select Connecticut as my state, and then just hit go. And I know in the back this might be tough to see, but what this is doing is, you'll notice under the Statue of Liberty's head, there's actually two tabs. One tab is the most recent ACS estimates. Okay, so from 2006 to 2008, which is the most recent 3-year estimate. Okay, and then there's a tab for 2000. So you can just kind of quickly make some comparisons on certain demographic information. What you'll also notice when you look down is that the actual characteristics are separated. So you got social characteristics. As you keep scrolling down, you come to economic characteristics. Keep going, you get to housing, and then just general demographic information. All right. So there's some great information here, but what I can tell you is that this is just a highlight of the entire, what we call, profile for that particular characteristic. You'll notice this by every characteristic title, there's a show more link. And if you actually click on that link, it actually opens up the entire profile. So as we just start scrolling down, you got things like household type, relationship in the household, marital status, grandparents as caregivers, school enrollment, educational attainment, veteran status, you got disability, you got place of birth. I mean, just a boatload of information. And just remember, this is only the social characteristic profile. There's actually still an economic and a housing and a general demographic one. So what it does is we just put in the address of the office in Hartford. It lists every geographic area associated with that address, including your census tract, and I know it's hard to see, your block group and your block. So you can quickly find out based on your address what the geographic area that you might be interested in is using this technique. So the example we wanted to use is sort of that poverty number that you looked at in the slide. So we're going to find the percent poverty or the number of people living in poverty for the state of Connecticut, for Hartford County, and then for Hartford. Okay. So as a journalist, you know the geographic area right now that you want to look for data for. So now you have to ask yourself, all right, what can I do? What data can I get? All right, and since the lowest level really is Hartford, the city, you know you have an option to use the American Community Survey, because obviously Hartford is larger than 20,000, and it's actually larger than 65. So you can actually go in and you can use the 1-year estimate. And actually, in order to do that, you just come over to these boxes on the left-hand side, and actually just click on the data set box. Now the default right now is the decennial census from 2000. Okay, so it's always going to bring you the decennial census. You'll notice that there's the summary file 1, 2. If we actually went down 3 and 4, and again, this speaks to needing to know the data that you want, because if you wanted income data from 2000 for whatever geographic area, and you went into summary file 1, you're not going to get it, because summary file 1 doesn't release income data. Summary file 3 will release that. And again, that's just kind of referring back to this tool that you guys got. You actually have the option through the fact finder to choose 500 geographies at once. So you could do some comparing. There's probably over 1,000 tables in the American Community Survey every year. So you don't want to have to scroll through to each one to try to find the one you're looking for. So what I recommend is you either use in these tabs up here by keyword or by subject. We're going to go with by subject. It actually drops this menu down, so we're going to drop this down, and we're in the economic section, poverty. And then hit search. And you're still going to have a lot of tables, but it at least cuts down, because it's only extracting those ones that deal with poverty. And everything that I actually just did is this other sheet that I handed out, this 4 easy steps, it's on the back of that. So what we just did, when you get back to the office, you can actually utilize this. Also, my number's on the front, so by all means, give me a call.